This is the plaintiff, James Triano. He says his car broke down on the side of the road. The defendant towed it to his shop and he authorized him to make the necessary repairs. The defendant basically rebuilt his engine, and when he got the car back, there were now problems with the car he never had before. The defendant's a mediocre mechanic at best. His car's in worse shape than it was before he fixed it, and he's suing for the return of the $3,000 he's owed. This is the defendant, Paul Costa. He says he fixed the plaintiff's car 2 years ago, gave him a 1-year warranty on the work he performed, and his mother paid the bill. About a year later, the plaintiff tells him he wants to sell the car because it's a money pit. And then next thing he knows, he gets served with this lawsuit, and the guy's suing him for $3,000. Please. Bottom line, he owes this joker nothing. He's accused. Shoddy workmanship on a car.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff took his car to the defendant's shop and says it came back worse than when he brought it in. But the defendant is saying, give me a break. It was 2 years ago, and his mom paid. It's the case of Mama said there'd be days like this.
Thank you, Douglas. James Triano, you are suing 5 Star Auto Center Incorporated, represented here by Paul Costa. You're the owner?
Yes, I am.
All right. For $3,000, that's state maximum in your state. According to you, you're actually out almost $3,500. Because according to you, work he did on your car essentially destroyed your car. Tell me what's going on.
My car broke down. I had it towed to his facility.
What kind of car?
My timing belt snapped on it.
What kind of car?
Oh, I'm sorry. Chrysler Concorde.
What year?
99.
99. Okay.
I was driving. My timing belt snapped, so...
How long ago was that?
1/6/14. That's when I had it towed to his shop.
January 2014. Okay.
When I got there the following day, he told me that there was several other damage that was done to the engine from the timing belt snapped. I guess the exhaust valves broke, the intake, which had to be replaced. He did the repairs. They weren't up to. I don't believe they're up to standards. I had them looked at a couple other places. I continued to have problems with the car.
Okay. Do you have any evidence from the other places?
The repairs that I had done after it?
No. Evidence that some other places said his repairs were faulty.
Well, the repairs he did broke down on me.
Sometimes cars break down even though repair wasn't faulty.
He changed the gasket on the car and my intake manifold. When I had that fixed by somebody else, my intake manifold, when they cleaned the gasket off, they were either too rough with it because they cracked it. And the gasket had to be changed. That's why I continued to have a vacuum leak from them. I went back to complain about it. Not even a month later, I said, I'm still having problems with the car. He charged me to have that looked at. He gave me some receipt. He used it as, let me see. He said I had faulty spark plugs, mismatched spark plugs that were in the car. Now, I never had, any parts I ever had changed in the car, I bought myself and had a mechanic put them in all the time. And...
Are you the first owner of that car?
Yeah, I've had that car for...
You had that car since 99?
No, I'm actually the second owner of that one.
Okay.
But I've had that car since 2007. So I've had just about every repair. I don't want to...
Because there were no repairs between 1999
I've had repairs, but I don't want to get rid of the car. I've had it for a while. I like it. Now, if you did a major engine repair, as he did, why would you put...
Did he do a major engine repair, or did he rebuild your engine?
It was rebuilt.
Did you rebuild his engine?
No, ma'am.
Oh. What did you do?
I replaced several engine parts in the cylinder head for him, and I did a maintenance on his timing belt, which is recommended by the dealership to do every 5 years.
Okay.
And apparently that's why it broke, because he hasn't done it.
Okay. Now, this mismatched spark plugs thing that you told him, and this was a month after the first repair, so this was in February?
Right after I left the place, the car, yes.
Was this in February?
Yes.
Okay. Is it accurate that he brought the car back the month after the big repairs?
No, it's not, ma'am.
When, according to you, did he bring the car back?
He brought it back to me in May of
okay.
May 8, 2014, almost 5 months later.
Okay, and then when he brought it back, according to you, what did he say? Is this when you say something to him about spark plugs that are mismatched?
Yes.
Why didn't you guys notice that when you were doing all the big work in January?
Well, because apparently when he tries to fix the cars on his own, and that's how the car got towed there to begin with. Okay, the spark plugs were mismatched because he must have had someone replace the spark plugs. And like
Are spark plugs visible?
No, they're not.
Oh.
But like you said, he does a lot of work on his own. He
No,
buys
but my
his parts
question
on
to
his
you
own.
is, how do you see a spark plug? Like if I opened up the hood, what would I have to do to check out my spark plug?
Oh, you can't see it, man.
I can't see it.
No.
It has to. What would have to happen for me?
You'd have to take them off the engine.
Okay. So I'd have to take apart the engine
Yeah,
to
you'd have
see
to
the
take
spark plug.
apart the cover. You'd have to take apart a few
right,
items
so-
on the engine.
Okay. Had you taken off the cover when you did the engine work that you did in January?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So how come you didn't notice quote mismatched spark plug?
Because they weren't mismatched.
Okay.
That's why.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
All right. So he comes back, and then you see mismatch. So your version of the events is he either worked on it himself or had somebody else work on it who did that.
Yes.
Okay. Did you take the car at all between January? Do you have like all the receipts from all the times that you've had to bring the car in to different people?
Yes, I have 2 other receipts.
Let me see all of that.
Thank you, sir.
Man, you were really attached to this car. Okay. He's right. It wasn't a month later. You brought the car to him the first time January 10th, and then the next receipt you have from him is May 8th.
Well, I had went back there once before for another complaint that I had. There was another
And
thing
did
about-
what? Nothing that had
Well,
paperwork?
he refused saying that they didn't do it. I went there. I had an antifreeze.
What other complaint?
An antifreeze leak that I had when I pulled out of
Would
there.
he come by a lot?
Well, he came by a lot.
How often did he come by?
He wanted to sell me the car several times.
No,
So
he didn't.
sometimes I would just amuse him because I didn't want to turn my face on it because he had every other week he had a problem because he said himself he would work on the car himself.
I don't
Okay,
know.
hold on. Go ahead.
So what I fixed is what I fixed, and the car left there running fine. If there was a problem with the car after I fixed it, he would have been back the next day, the next week.
How
or
often would he
something.
go by and chit-chat?
At least once a week, and call me 3 or 4 times a week.
For real? For
Yes.
how long?
After this, for about a year.
For a year?
Yes.
Why were you talking to him?
Because I'm a business owner. I don't hang up the phone to my customers. I try to help them out over the phone the best
What was
I
he
can.
talking about?
At one point, he wanted to sell me the car.
Yeah, but besides wanting to sell you the car, which he denies, what else was he talking to you
I would
about?
give him. He told me that he didn't have enough money to fix other things on the car, so I would give him advice
Okay.
how to go about and doing it.
All right. Well,
My technicians used to run almost when they seen him coming through the door.
your technicians would
Yes,
run?
yeah.
'Cause-
Because
all right,
you
so
would ask
we've
everybody.
got you taking it to him January of 2014. The very next repair that you're giving me receipts for is May of 2014. And then the next repair that comes from a different place isn't until October of 2015. What happened with the car between May of 2014 and October 2015? Everything was cool?
No, I had the problem. I let it go until I completely had to get it fixed. That was the original.
I don't know what that means. You didn't take care of your car between April?
No, it was
between-
that was the gasket.
It either
that,
was working or it wasn't.
No,
and
it
needed
wasn't
repairs.
working.
Which is it?
It needed repairs from the beginning, but I didn't have
You're
it
not
fixed.
listening to my question.
Okay, now, if it's true that it took 5 months before he brought it back and complained, is that too long?
Yeah, that's way too long.
Why?
Because you don't know what could happen in the meantime.
That's a fair point. You have anything to add to that statement? I would say no. She kind of said it all. I mean, when you say it all, you say it all. Going inside the courtroom.
Where are all the receipts for everything that went wrong between May of 2014 to October of 2015? Because only 2 possibilities exist. Nothing went wrong, which you don't want to say, or something did go wrong, but you fixed it yourself, which I guess you also
I don't know
want
how to
say.
fix anything on a car.
Okay.
Any repairs
so
I
why,
had.
if everything went wrong from the moment he fixed the car 2 years ago, I need to see what went wrong in a year and a half of those 2 years.
Those receipts that I gave you.
Do you hear me? I have a receipt for.
Those are the only things that was what was wrong with it.
So then nothing was wrong between
I called
May
this place. He
of 20.
refuses-
Listen to my question. Nothing was wrong then with this car, this 16-year-old car that's almost old enough to vote. Nothing went wrong from May 2014 to October 2015. Correct?
No, that's not correct.
Okay. What went wrong and show me proof of it?
I have the receipts of what was fixed. I waited to have them fixed. It was a
So things
continuous
went wrong and
problem.
you just ignored them and didn't pay attention to them?
Because I didn't want to keep on putting more money into something. And he
So you didn't
refused
take
to
care of
fix
your car for a
no,
year and a half?
he refused to fix
There's
it.
no good answer. There's no good answer, and you're starting to realize that because
No,
I
I'm
am
not.
circling you and I'm coming in for the kill. Wait for it.
That's
Wait
not your
All right.
opinion
You know,
of it.
I mean, come on. October. Then the next one is Wawa Auto Repairs. What date was that one? Because it's kind of scribbly. Do you know? When did that one come into play? 2014, 2015?
That was 2014. That was my pipe that I broke that was broken.
How'd you break the pipe?
I didn't break the pipe. They had touched something when they did the engine repair.
I
It
thought you
was
just
leaking
said
and
my
had a
pipe
dent.
that I broke.
No, I didn't say pipe.
Did he just not say my pipe that I broke?
How could I break it? It's under the car. It was
How many
broken.
people say he just said my pipe that I broke? Show of hands, please. I need you to turn around.
I don't need to turn around.
All right.
And this is exactly
Mr.
what I
Triano, I'm
want
sorry
out
you're
of
having problems with the car. I happen to be someone who falls in love with cars too, much to everyone
the
else in
guy's
my
a-
house.
he did faulty repairs and stuff.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
You
he
have no
did.
proof of that.
I gave it to
Zero. Zero. Show me the mechanical proof from another mechanic, an expert, not you who are whining about a 2-year-old repair. Show me proof from a mechanic that says he
You
did
want me to
something
bring a
wrong.
mechanic here and have them tell you that?
Say what?
I said, what do you want me to do? Have brought a mechanic here and tell you that was what was wrong with it? That's what you're asking
That's
for.
what's done in every case. Oh my God, that was so priceless. Yes, that's exactly what I want you to do. That's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to bring me evidence of what you're saying in order to win. And barring that, verdict for the defendant.
Thank you. And this is how I entertained
What do you
for
want me
2
to bring?
years.
Evidence?
You won't keep entertaining me.
All right, so come on over, and the plaintiff's right here. He's leaving the courtroom, and that was his last chance to speak. Didn't want it. All right, so step on in here, and what's your feeling on the outcome here?
The feeling, the outcome is what it's supposed to be. I was entertaining this gentleman for 2 years, and as judge can see, she was trying to entertain him also, and he had no case against me because none of the repairs that I did were faulty.
Okay. The case ended, and as he was leaving the courtroom, he turned to you and said something. What was it?
He said he's going to come and see me this afternoon.
Yeah?
I hope he has good luck because I sold the business because there's a new owner there now.
Harvey?
Okay, I gotta say, this is hilarious that the plaintiff would think that it's hysterical or hilarious to bring in a mechanic. Why would he have to do that? He has to do that because you're not a mechanic, and mechanics are the only ones who can testify about what is wrong with a vehicle.